So that's the total revenue test. If the price and then the total revenue change in opposite directions, it means that the demand for that good is elastic. So price goes up and then total revenue falls. But then if they move in the same direction, okay, if they move in the same direction, it means that demand is what? Inelastic. So when the demand for your good or service is inelastic, if you want to increase total revenue, just increase price. If you increase price, total revenue too will do what? Will increase. But then if you increase price, but then total revenue doesn't change, it means that the demand for the good is unit elastic. So that one, there's no need increasing your price at all. Because whether you increase price or not, there will be no change in your total revenue. Okay.
Okay.
So let's look at the total revenue test. Now, initially, the price of a latte was $3, and then the quantity demanded was 15. So if you want to find the total revenue, to be $3 times 15, which is what, $45, right? $45. This will be the total revenue. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. Now, what if total revenue increases to $5? If it goes to $5, the quantity demanded is $5. What will be the total revenue? 25. 5 times 5. What has happened to total revenue? It has decreased from 45 to what? 25. So it means that demand is what? Is elastic. And that is what we said. At a price of $3, we're at the midpoint. So any point above the midpoint, the demand is elastic. So here the increased price and total revenue decrease. So you see that they are moving in opposite direction. So it means that the demand here is what? Elastic. Let's look at the other side. Assuming initially price was 50 and then quantity demanded was 5. So what is going to be the total revenue? 250, right? 50 times 5, 250. Now, what if we increase price to 75, from 50 to 75? Quantity demanded has decreased from 5 to 4. What is going to be the total revenue here? 75 times 4 is what? It's 300 million. And that is more than the initial total revenue of 250. So this means that demand is what? Is inelastic. So whenever you increase price and there's an increase in total revenue, it means your demand is inelastic. If you increase price and total revenue falls, it means that your demand is inelastic. Are we together?
Yeah.
Let's look at the application of the price elasticity of demand. Now, as I said earlier, businesses need price elasticity so that they know how to price their commodities. Okay, it will help you. It will help you know how to charge prices just to increase your revenue. The government too, you see, they can use it for taxes, for tax to enact tax policies. If you want to get more tax revenue, you impose taxes on goods with inelastic demand. You see that taxes raise price of goods and services. So when prices go up, people will change their demand. They will decrease it. But then if the good is inelastic, even if you impose the tax, demand will come down, but then it wouldn't be much. So people will still be buying the good, and you can get more of your whatever tax revenue you are looking for. But if you impose taxes on goods with elastic demand, no one will buy the good. And if we don't buy the good, where is the tax revenue? So the government too can use this to actually know whether we have to impose tax on this good and this good on that. Okay, and even to the individual, if you are going to buy something and you know that the demand for that good is elastic, it gives you bargaining power. If the good is elastic, it's possible it has substitutes. So when you are bargaining with the seller, you can tell the seller, if you don't sell it for me at this price, I'm going to buy it from another person. You see that thing. So it gives bargaining power. But if the good is inelastic, if the demand is inelastic, no matter what you do, you still have to buy. So you don't have power to bargain. You just have to leave it like that. Buy it. So it is a very good concept for the economic agents. Okay, individuals, we need it. Businesses need it. The government also needs it. Now, this is an example. There is the price elasticity of the demand for orange is 0.4. It is inelastic, right? it is inelastic. So assume there is bad harvest. So the quantity that will be available for demand reduces by 1%. Okay, if demand reduces, if quantity reduces, remember price will go up, right? But because the good is inelastic, then the increase in price will be higher than the decrease in quantity. Okay, the formula is elasticity is percentage change in quantity over percentage change in price, right? Percentage change in price. Now, this has been giving us 0.4. You see that they've given us the value as well, 0.4. So if quantity is changing by 1%, so we have 1% over, we don't know the percentage change in price, should be equal to what? 0.4. So now, if we are looking for percentage change in price, we do cross multiplication. So the percentage change in price will be equal to 1% divided by what? 0.4. And that will give us 2.5%. So the good is inelastic. The demand for the good is inelastic. So if the quantity should reduce by 1%, then the price will increase by 2.5. Okay, it will increase by 2.5. So, I mean, elasticity is a very good concept, especially for firms or business owners. If it's possible, you can actually determine the elasticity of your product. It helps you a lot. So demand for the farm produce will be what? Inelastic, since the value is 0.4. So if there's an increase in price by 2.5%, your total revenue will increase. People will still buy oranges. It doesn't matter the increase in price. Okay. And then addiction and elasticity. For non-users, okay, non-users of addictive substances, demand is elastic. I don't use cocaine. I don't use weed. So I'll be very sensitive to changes in price of weed. Me now, I don't want to buy it. Okay, I don't want to buy it. So assuming I don't use it at all, now I've heard that there's an increase in the price of weed. I mean, do I even care? I don't even care. I won't even venture at all. Assuming I even made up my mind to go and try cocaine, and now they've increased the price of cocaine, I won't go. It will prevent me from going. But for existing users, demand is inelastic. If someone is a junkie, the person is always on drug. It doesn't matter. If you increase the price of the addictive substance, even if the person will have to kill someone and get money to go and buy it, they will do it. Because their demand for that good is very, very, very inelastic. So they will still have to be there. Okay, they will still have to go. So even if you increase price, the reduction in their quantity demanded will be very small. But then for non-users, we won't even venture. So the thing is that if the government should put taxes on these abusive substances, the only effect it will have will be on those that are not using it now. Okay, we are not using it now, and you've increased price, so it will prevent us from even entering into that habit. But for those that are already there, the effect of the tax on them will be very small. You see that one use of tax is to prevent the consumption of certain harmful goods. So they are putting a tax on cigarettes so that people stop smoking it. But if I'm addicted, I mean, it wouldn't do much. But if I've not taken something before, I just wanted to go and try it, but then there's an increase in price, that should have much effect on me. But for those who are already using it, it will have less effect. So their demand is more inelastic. Are we together? Are we together?
Yes. Yes.
Let's look at elasticity of supply. Okay. So just like demand, there's one to it to measure the extent to which the quantity supplied of a good changes when the price of the good changes. So if price changes, how responsive are producers, the sellers? How do they respond to the changes in price? So this one to measure it, we need to find, or we need to compare the percentage change in quantity supplied and the percentage change in price. The interpretation, everything is the same. We have elastic supply when percentage change in quantity is more than percentage change in price. Okay, so for perfectly elastic supply, this one too, there will be almost 0% change in price, but then quantity supplied will change by a very large percentage. So price is almost the same, yet the quantity that they offer for sale will be changing. Okay. Therefore, elastic, as I said, percentage change in the quantity supplied will be more than that of the percentage change in price. Then we have unit. For the unit, they will be the same. The percentage change in quantity will be the same as the percentage change in price. Okay. Then we'll come to inelastic. So here, percentage change in quantity will be less than the percentage change in price. Then we have perfectly inelastic. Here, quantity supplied will be 0, even if price changes. This one is more common to the goods that have fixed supply. As soon as they produce the quantity they can ever produce, that is all. It doesn't matter. Even if price changes, they cannot increase their quantity to take advantage of the price. So it makes the demand and the supply perfectly inelastic. Okay. So diagrammatically, it's just the same as the demand. This is for perfectly elastic supply. It doesn't matter. You see that they're the same price, but then quantity supplied will vary. As long as you try to here, you see there's almost like there's no change in price. But then maybe due to certain factors, consumers will be induced, producers will be induced to either produce more or produce less. So there's a perfectly elastic supply. Then we have elastic supply. If you look at this, the change in price is 10%, but then the change in quantity supplied is what? 20%. So you see that the percentage change in quantity is more than the percentage change in price. So we have elastic supply. And then we have unit elastic. Percentage change in price is 10%. Percentage change in quantity supplied is also 10%. So the supply, the elasticity here becomes 1. So we have unit elastic supply. Then here, percentage change in price is 20%. Percentage change in quantity supplied is only 10%. So we have inelastic supply since that of the price is more than that of the quantity. Okay. And the last one is perfectly inelastic supply. So here, it doesn't matter the price. Price can choose to change, increase, decrease, but then there will be no change in quantity supplied. So here, I mean, they cannot produce beyond this point. Okay. Even if price changes or not, the percentage change in quantity supplied will be 0. Okay, it will be 0. All right, let's look at the factors affecting price elasticity of supply. Okay. The main factors are production possibilities and then storage possibilities. Okay, production possibilities and then storage possibilities. So first, let's look at the production possibilities. Now, there are some goods. It's possible to increase the quantity that they offer for sale at a constant cost, or even if cost will increase, it increases gently. I mean, by increasing quantity, you don't incur so much incremental cost. If that is the case, they are able to produce more whenever there's an increase in price, making them more responsive to increase in price. So supply becomes what? Elastic. But there are some cases where before you can produce more, the kind of marginal cost you have to incur, I mean, you'll be shocked. So if that's the case, to avoid the cost, even if they increase price, they won't even increase the quantity that they offer for sale. Okay. So their supply tends to be elastic. This is what I said. If you can produce a particular good only at a fixed quantity, then demand is perfectly, supply is perfectly inelastic. As soon as we get to that quantity, for example, the 100 that we saw in the diagram, if that is the fixed quantity they can produce, that is all. As soon as you get there, you cannot respond. Price can keep on increasing. You can't take advantage of it. You can't do anything about it. So supply there becomes very, very, very inelastic. Okay, so those are the production possibilities. And then the time span involved. If the time distance between the change in price and when the producers will respond is very long, they are able to sit down, think about new ways of producing, and they can change their quantity after an increase in price, making the good more elastic. But if the time is very short, we are going to sell something in the market. We got there and we realize there's an increase in price from 10 to 20. How do we take advantage then? No, we have to go back, take some time, produce more before. So The time too is a factor. If the time is too short, it makes supply inelastic. But then if the time is long, it makes the supply more elastic. Okay. And then storage possibilities. If you can produce something and store it, supply will be elastic. You have a warehouse. You have stocks there. Remember, production is different from supply. Supply is what you send to the market, what you are willing and able to actually sell. The production is the quantity that you are able to get after combining the factors of production at the time. So you can produce and put it in a warehouse, store it. As you are storing it, it is not part of supply. So you have a storehouse, your good is storable. So after the increase in price, you can go there, bring some of the goods, send it to the market. You've increased your supply after the increase in price. So if you can store the good, you are more responsive to changes in price. But if you cannot store it, then you produce, you send it to the market. If there's an increase in price, you have to come back and produce more, which takes time. Okay. So here, the main issue deals with the cost of storage. The cost of storage. If you can store at a lower cost, your supply will be elastic because you can store more. But then if storage cost is too high, how do you store? You can't. So storage possibilities too is another issue. Okay, another issue. How do we compute price elasticity of supply? The same formula. Percentage change in quantity supplied over percentage change in price. Okay. So about the numerical value, this one, the value will always be positive because of the positive relationship between supply and the price. So if you calculate the supply elasticity and then you get coefficient of 1, if it's greater than 1, it is elastic. If it's exactly 1, unit elastic. If it's less than 1, it's inelastic. Okay, so you get something greater than 1, we have elastic supply, equal to 1 unit elastic, and then less than 1, we have inelastic supply. Okay, we have inelastic. Let's look at an example. Initially, price was 40, quantity supplied was 6. Then price increased to 80. Okay, quantity has also increased to 24. First, let's calculate the percentage change in, how do we call it, price. We are using the midpoint. So new price minus old price divided by the average. What is going to be the average here? 80 plus 40 is 120. Divided by 2, that will give us 60. Are we together?
Yes.
And the change, which is the new minus old, will be what? 80 minus 40, which is what? 40. So the percentage change in price will be 40 over 60 times 100, which is 66.67%. So this is the percentage change in price. Let's go to quantity. The change will be 24 minus 6, which is 18. Then the average, 24 plus 6 is 30, divided by 2 will give us what? 15. So we'll have 18 over 15 times what? Times 100%. That will be 120%. So if you want to find the supply elasticity, 120 divided by 66.7%, that is giving us 1.8. 1.8 is greater than 1. So we have what? Elastic supply. Are we together? We have elastic.
Yes.
So that is for elasticity of supply. Remember I said for demand, we have price elasticity, cross elasticity, and income elasticity. For cross elasticity of demand, we are talking about how consumers respond to demand whenever there are changes in price of a related commodity. Okay, so this one is not a response to the change in the price of the good in question, but then the change in price of a related good. So that good can either be a substitute or a complement, holding all other things constant. So assuming there's an increase in the price of a substitute, there's an increase in the price of a complement. How does it affect the demand for this commodity in question? Okay. So the formula is percentage change in quantity demanded of the good in question divided by the percentage change in the price of the related good. Are we together? The price of the
Yes, we are.
The price of the related good. So let's take this example. This is pizza, okay, and burger. These are substitutes. You can either eat burger or eat pizza. Now, the price of burger has fallen by 10%. And then the quantity of pizza has increased. It has decreased by 5%. What is going to be the cross elasticity? Remember, is the demand percentage change in quantity minus 15, right? It has decreased. Divided by minus 10, the fall in the price of burger. So we are having what? 0.5. 0.5. So the cross elasticity, these two goods are substitutes. So you see that the coefficient is positive. For cross elasticity, it can be positive, negative, or 0. If it's positive, it means that the two goods are substitutes. So whenever there's a fall in the price of one, people will now go and buy that good. So the demand for the good in question will fall. So price falls, demand falls. Okay. But then for complements, okay, for complements, they are what? The coefficient is what? It's negative. It's negative. Whenever there's a fall in price of one, it makes us buy more of the good in question. Okay, so here you see that they move in opposite direction, the price and then the quantity move in opposite direction for the complement. So this one, the coefficient to be negative. If you get a coefficient of 0, it means there's no relationship between the two goods. Like pen and kenke. What has pen got to do with kenke? I mean, there's no relationship. Okay, so there.
Write the number of kenke.
Come again.
You use the pen to write the number of kenke available.
So for kenke and then pen, the amount of pen I'll buy doesn't depend on the price of kenke. Or the amount of kenke I'll buy doesn't depend on the price of a pen. Okay, so there you get a relationship where the coefficient of what? 0. There will be no distance at all. Okay. All right. Diagrammatically, for pizza and burger, because they are substitutes, this is the demand, the initial demand for pizza. So with a fall in the price of burger, we'll have a decrease in demand for pizza. Okay. So pizza, the demand for pizza will fall. What about pizza and soda? Okay, they are complements. So if there's a fall in the price of soda, then people will buy more pizza. So you see that it will cause an increase in demand for pizza. So the demand curve shifts to the right. Here we have a negative cross elasticity between the complements. Okay. And then we have income elasticity, how consumers respond whenever there are changes in the income of the individual. Okay, so we have to hold everything constant and only allow income to change. But remember, in terms of income, we said we have inferior goods and normal goods, right?
Yes.
Here, the formula too is the same thing. Percentage change in quantity demanded over percentage change in income. Here, the coefficient can be positive. If it's positive, what does it mean? It means that when income increases, we'll buy more. That is for a normal good. Are we together? That is for a normal good. So income increases, we buy more. But then for an inferior good, when income increases, we buy less. So the coefficient will be negative. Please take note of these things, and then the substitutes and the complements, the signs, because they do ask. After calculating cross elasticity, they will tell you to state the relationship between the two groups. Okay. If it's income elasticity, they will tell you state the type of good in question. So for normal good, income elasticity will be positive. For an inferior good, income elasticity will be negative. And here too, it's possible you get a coefficient of 0. It means the good is a necessity. It doesn't matter your income level. You still consume the same quantity. You can't tell me that maybe Bill Gates, because he is very rich, he eats a lot of sugar. He buys a lot of sugar because he's rich. No. It's even possible he doesn't eat sugar at all. You see, so for that one, it doesn't matter the amount of money you have. You don't normally change your quantity after the change in income. Okay. So there's no relationship between income and necessities. So the coefficient will be 0. Coefficient will be 0. All right. So this is where we'll end as usual. So tomorrow we have to meet. So that we'll go through some of the. Let's make it Wednesday. Okay.
Okay.
So.
Okay.